for a while, do me a favor, please. Go and grab your water. You know, we're a water drinking group. Go ahead and grab your water, boss. And then come back and sit and chill with us. I am drinking hot water. It just feels so much more comforting. It feels like a hug. Got warm water, so I'm drinking hot water. That hot water. So that's where I'm at. But if you're gonna stay with us for a little bit, do me a favor. Hey Angel, if you're gonna stay with us for a bit, do me a favor. Go grab your water. Come back and sit with us. We're gonna go over the key elements to mastering a silk press at home. We'll probably get started in another 4 minutes. We got 4 minutes. Another 3 minutes and we'll get started. Go and grab your water, boss. Let me know when you're back. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. Go and grab your water, boss. Let me know when you're back so we can get started. I'm going to try and keep this under an hour. We'll see how I do. Hey, boss. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday, right? It's Sunday. So if you tune into the Silk Press series, right, and listen to it, the Silk Press series is compiled of 4 pieces, right? If you take every piece for this week and listen to it, by next week Sunday, you'll be ready to do your Silk Press at home on your own. Okay? I'm telling you. But we'll break down some of what is in the Silk Press series today. Hey boss, hey Facebook, hey YouTube. And then we'll get started. Excuse me. Before we get started, girls, y'all know, let's do an intro. Can you tell the people your name, where you're from, and if you're new or if you're an OG? If you're new around here, you've been rocking with us for less than a year. If you're an OG around here, you've been rocking with us for more than a year. Can you tell the girls your name? Tell the girls what city you're from. And then if you're new or if you're an OG. And we'll get started in another 2 minutes. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. What up, Kay? From BK. Every time I say what up, Kay from BK, I always want to call you. I always want you to change your name to Brooklyn Batty, and I don't even know why. Ain't no reason for it. There's no reason for me to want that. Hey Facebook, hey YouTube. Tell the ladies where you're from. If you're new, if you're an OG, and then tell us your name. And then we'll get into the Silk Press series in another minute. Hey Facebook, hey YouTube. We're learning ways to master your silk press at home. So I just want to make sure you're sitting in the right. class. Oh my God, that's hot. We almost good. Everybody got their water. Hey boss. Everybody got their water. Hey Facebook, hey YouTube. All right, it's 10 after. Let's go ahead and get started. Good evening, boss. My name is Ebony K. I'm the owner of Texture Press, and what I do is give women the confidence to manage and maintain their hair by giving them simple tool suggestions, product tips to make life easier for them and managing their hair at home. Kay, I got your question. Just give me a little bit. Hey, Tasha. Tasha, you want to tell the girls your name, where you're from, and if you're new or if you're an OG around here? So that's my name. That's what I do. I've been in the industry for almost 20 years now. And for the past 7 years, or almost 8 years, I have offered exclusively my silk press service. What I'm most known for is the education that women leave me with and how long their silk presses last, right? I've been able to build my business off of referrals, which means that the women love it. And so much so that they're telling their friends about it, right? So now I want to give you the tools to be better able to manage your own silk press at home so that your friends, your people are impressed by what you're able to do without a stylist, right? I also want to have always wanted to make it a point to make room for women being more independent from the salon. So that's going to be a part of what we're talking about today. Let's talk about mastering silk presses. So there's a lot of discourse on the internet about a silk press versus a flat iron or whatever. A silk press is essentially the word press in cosmetology simply means that you are turning your hair from curly to straight temporarily using only the element of heat. That's what the word press means. Excuse me. Silk just comes from the amount of shine that we get nowadays with the products that we use. Hey, Natalie. Silk just comes from the amount of shine or smooth texture that we get these days without using Marcel irons. It's silk press primarily uses a flat iron tool, which is very different from the press and curl, which historically uses a Marcel iron, right? Which is like the cast iron tools that heat up, that you put on the stove, put in a stove, that heat up. And that's how we straightened back in the day. Now we just have new tools, and that is essentially what a silk press is, right? Temporarily turning the hair from curly to straight using only the element of heat. And a silk press also entails usually bounce, body, shine, etc. And we're going to talk about how you achieve that at home today. Are we ready? If we're ready, drop ready in the comments for me, please. If we're ready, drop ready in the comments for me, please. Do you guys want, we can compete tonight. Do you guys want to compete tonight? You let me know. Do you guys want to compete tonight? Hey, Tangi. Hey, Angel. We can compete tonight. Do you guys want to compete tonight? Yes or no? I'm down to do whatever. Yes or no? Sure. Okay. Tasha says sure. Majority rules around here. All right. So when we compete, it's really just Facebook and YouTube versus Instagram, right? And if we can get whomever gets more viewers throughout the live will get either a free guide or a free discount. Do you guys want to do that? A free guide today. So since we're talking about silk presses, we can compete for a free list of you can get a list of my products that I use for silk presses. Competition makes me nervous. It's pretty simple, Angel. You guys can compete for a list of products that I use in my silk presses, or you can compete for a discount for the silk press series. Angel, how you talk about you don't want to compete but want the free guide? Girl, you got to choose. You got to pick a side. Majority rules. If you say no, then that means that someone has to break. You say no, but Tasha says yes. Someone has to break you guys' tie, and that'll determine if we compete. We got another minute or so to decide. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep going through with the lesson. Sanji says yes. All right, so we're doing it. Okay, we're competing. What's the best way to win? What's the best way to win? If you need more viewers on your platform, right? If you need more viewers on your platform, Instagram, if you need more viewers on your Facebook or YouTube, what do you need to be doing in order for you to win? So that you can get your free list. There we go, Angel. Angel, how are you scared to compete and you know everything? You know exactly what to do to win. Angel girl, I ain't messing with you. I mean, right now y'all winning anyway. Right now, Tangi, Instagram is winning. Excuse me, which means that you got to share this live. Okay, right now Instagram is winning. As soon as they get the losing, I'll tell them over there. Okay. All right, we ready? Cool. Okay, one of the things that is going to be essential, it still makes me nervous. One of the things that's going to be essential, okay, to making sure that not only you get a long lasting silk press, right? So making sure you get 2 and maybe 3 weeks out of your silk press, making sure that even with 2 or 3, y'all are at a tie now. Instagram is Facebook, excuse me, Facebook and YouTube is beating you. IG, I'm just telling you now. Okay, that was quick, girl. That was quick, Tangy. Um, um, to making sure that you have a silk press that also has minimal frizz, but also what's most important? What's most important after our silk press, after our hair is straightened and we've worn it for 3 weeks? What's most important? How do we make sure? How can we tell, excuse me, that our hair is healthy after we've worn that silk press for 3 weeks? I'm not messing with Angel. Angel is crazy. If you've worn your silk press for 3, maybe 4 weeks, right? Maybe we got a month up out that silk press. When you after your silk press is done, what's going to be the most important piece to making to telling whether your hair is still healthy or not? Angel, I know you know. I know you know, Tasha. And Angie, I'm sure you know too. I don't know is an acceptable answer here, right? If you really do not know, excuse me, I don't know is a totally acceptable answer around here. Just please don't make me talk to myself. How do you know your hair is healthy, even though you've worn a silk press for 3 weeks? Girl, Tasha, you could put anything. You could put anything in the comments. I'm gonna give you the answer. You could put anything in the comments. I'm gonna give you the answer. But tell me what you're thinking. Tangi, Justice is here. Justice is here. What up, Jay? You got your water, boss? That it didn't frizz. That's one good guess. That it's still moisturized. How about after you wear a silk press for 3 weeks, and let's say we'll take texture press for example, right? So Tasha comes into texture press. She found out about texture press through Tangi, right? Her Tasha and Tangi are real good friends, right? Tasha came to texture press because Tangi said, "Girl, that was the best silk press I ever had." Hey, Tammy, girl, that was the best. That's a good one, Tammy. Girl, that was the best silk press I ever had, right? Tasha comes into texture press. She go to get that silk press. She pays me, right? Because my silk press service is nearly $300 for service. Tasha pays me $300, right? Which includes my tip. She tipped well. She paid me for my service. She went on about her business. It's week 3. Tasha's like, girl, I get. Tasha calls Tangi, girl, I still got this silk press. It's been 3 weeks already. I still got this silk press. But I'm about to wash my hair tonight, girl. We got date night tomorrow. I'm about to wash my hair tonight. I'll do it. And I'll talk to you later. Tangi sitting at home watching her Super Bowl, you know? Phone ring again. It's Tasha. Yelling and screaming, cussing and fussing because her hair didn't revert. She wore that silk press for 3 weeks. She got her hair straightened, wore that silk press for 3 weeks, and now her hair's not reverting. That don't make y'all scared. Heat damage don't make y'all scared. Hey, Betty. Heat damage don't make y'all scared? That's interesting. Note to self. Yeah, okay, Tasha. A nightmare, right? Okay? Tiny, a nightmare. Okay? So, how do you know that your hair is still healthy? Hey, Alicia. How do you know that your hair is still, and we're competing. Facebook, I'm sorry to tell you, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram is whooping your tail right now. Okay? How do we know that our hair is healthy after a silk press? It reverts after the wash. There we go, Tasha. There we go. It curls back up for you, right? That's an indication of healthy hair. A lot of us scream, talk crazy, cuss because we have revert to natural coils 100%. A lot of us scream, cuss, and are upset because of our shrinkage, but really shrinkage is a sign of hair that is healthy. Okay? When your hair reverts back to its natural state, that is a sign that that was a healthy silk press. So how do we get you to a healthy silk press? How do I make sure that when Justice goes to do her silk press at home on her own, her hair still reverts, but she got what she got what Tangi got, which is a 3-week long silk press with no heat damage. We'll talk about it right now, okay? Now, what's really important to making sure that you reduce the amount of frizz that you experience, but also have curls that revert after your silk press, it starts with the shampoo, okay? It starts with the shampoo. Now, not every time you do a silk press, do you need to use a clarifying shampoo? Not every time you do a silk press, do you need to use a clarifying shampoo, but you do need to be consistent with using a clarifying shampoo. Clients often ask me, how do I know when I need to use a clarifying shampoo or not on that particular wash day? A couple of things. If you haven't used a clarifying shampoo in more than 8 weeks, it's about time that you use a clarifying shampoo. If you haven't shampooed and conditioned your hair regularly, every 7 to 10 days, every 2 weeks or so, right? Every 7 to 14 days. If you have not been shampooing and conditioning your hair every 7 to 14 days for quite some time, you need to go on and use a clarifying shampoo. Even if it's just the one shampoo, right? Sometimes I will clarify a client's hair at the shampoo phase, maybe 2 or 3 times, depending on how long their last wash day was and what they've been doing in between that time. But even if you did just one shampoo with the clarifier, because you are consistent with how often you shampoo and condition your hair, it's just that we've been going through a rough patch this time, right? We've been going through a rough patch this time, and our hair needs a little bit more of a stronger buildup remover, right? So use a clarifying shampoo. Now, again, you do not always use a clarifying shampoo. So every time you go to silk press your hair, you do not need to use a clarifying shampoo, but you do want to consider how often you've been shampooing and conditioning your hair leading up to your next silk press. Does that make sense? Thank you, Miss Illustrious. Especially after braids. That depends, Alicia. If you are consistent with shampooing and conditioning your hair, let's say you shampoo and condition your hair in your braids every 2 weeks. Do you still need to use a clarifying shampoo when you go to do a silk press? I don't agree. I do think that dandruff shampoo acts as a clarifier because it is equally as stripping as clarifying shampoos. Dandruff shampoos are equally as stripping as clarifying shampoos. So I would consider them on the same level as a clarifying shampoo. So to your question, Natalie, yes, I do think that a dandruff or a medicated shampoo counts as well. Okay. So we are not to use clarifying shampoos all the time. We're not to use them every wash day. But that's not what we're talking about, Alicia, right? That's why we have to be mindful. We have to be mindful of how we teach and lead our clients, right? Because if you've been with Texture Press for long enough and you've sat through enough of these classes, then I preach to you to shampoo and condition your hair even in a protective style, shampoo and condition your hair even in braids. So if you're one of my clients and you've been listening to what I've been telling you to do and you still use a clarifying shampoo when you come out of your braids, your hair is more likely to be drier when you go to do that silk press, right? And dry hair during a silk press creates more frizz. And if you experience more frizz while you're in your silk press, what are you more inclined to do? Go over your hair with heat more to reduce the amount of frizz you're experiencing while you're wearing your silk press. If you're applying more heat while you're in your silk press because you see more frizz, you're more likely to create what for your hair? If you use heat multiple times throughout your silk press, whether it's day 1, you're at day 7, and you're reapplying heat to even an old silk press, Instagram, y'all losing right now, girl. Instagram, girl, y'all losing right now. And y'all get to applying more heat to your silk press. What happens inevitably? 100% damage, heat damage in particular, right? Heat damage in particular. So when I, as a stylist, am coaching Angel, when I am, as a stylist, am doing Tasha's hair, that is what I have to think about. I cannot think about just today. I cannot think about just this silk press. I have to teach Angel. I have to teach Tangi. I have to show Tasha that I'm thinking years ahead of you. Okay? So teaching you to shampoo and condition your hair while it's in braids, right? So that this way you're not doing a clarifying shampoo every time you come out of braids, because maybe it wasn't necessary because you've kept your scalp clean while you were in the braids, is essential to making sure you don't incur heat damage when you silk press your hair. Okay, so clarifying is helpful because it removes buildup and makes sure that we have a nice light bounce and move in silk press, right? What else do Jocelyn, what else do clarifying shampoo? Jocelyn, you helping the girls out because y'all beating them right now. Y'all beating Facebook and YouTube. YouTube, if I were you, I'd get to sharing this live. It's about to get late. Your friends is about to be asleep. If I were you right now, I get to sharing this live because Instagram is beating y'all. Okay? Hey, Patricia, you guys are competing for a list of my favorite silk press products and tools. Okay? Right now, Instagram is winning. Y'all was losing just a minute ago. If I were you, I'd get to sharing this live. What else do clarifying shampoos do for us to help us reduce frizz? How else do clarifying shampoos help us reduce frizz? Hey, Lumacy. How else do clarifying shampoo? I don't know is a totally acceptable answer, right? Just please don't make me talk to myself. And please don't answer me with a question mark. Cleansing the scalp, but how does that reduce your frizz? It does remove buildup, but how does that reduce your frizz? Clarifying shampoos help reduce your frizz in this way. When you use a clarifying shampoo, it does remove buildup, right? It strips your hair of oils. It strips your hair of any emulsifiers or waxes that might be on your hair, right? Making it hard for your hair to retain moisture. If you have a lot of buildup on your hair, if you have a lot of buildup on your scalp, it makes it harder for your hair to retain moisture. Dehydrated hair, leads to frizz. Dehydrated hair leads to frizz. Because why? Because your hair, when your hair hits moist air, it's trying to get as much moisture, as much water as it possibly can, right? Which is in part why hair swells up when in humidity, right? If your hair, especially if your hair is dehydrated and thirsty, okay? So a clarifying shampoo makes it easier so that when you use your moisture focused shampoo to follow up, when you use your hydrating shampoo to follow up, okay, it's better received because there aren't any heavy oils on there. There aren't any heavy waxes already on your hair, making it harder for your moisture shampoo, your hydrating shampoo, your moisturizing conditioner, your hydrating conditioner to do their job. That's how clarifiers make it easier in your frizz contains moisture or softness. Exactly, Miss Illustrious You. It allows moisture to come in. Okay. So while clarifying shampoos are essential to make sure you reduce your frizz, you are still not to use them every single wash day. You are still not to use them once a month. If you are saying that if you are remembering, that the last time you used clarifying shampoo was about 8 weeks ago, that's when I would want to encourage you to use a clarifying shampoo for sure. Okay. Now, since we've talked about moisture, right? Moisturizing shampoos are going to be essential to making sure you reduce your amount of frizz, Moisture focused shampoos make it so that your hair is not feeling dry and thirsty 2 weeks into your silk press. right? We still don't want to feel like our hair is dry when we do a silk press, but we don't want to add oil, right? After you've already done this beautiful silk press, after you've had all this bounce, move, this shine going on with the silk press that you've executed at home, the last thing you want is like to apply heavy oils and start to weigh your silk press down, right? So how do you do that? How do you implement moisture so that you're avoiding having to prematurely weigh down your silk press? It starts at the shampoo. If you have a really good moisturizing or hydrating shampoo, that makes it significantly easier for you to hold on to softness, especially if you're using the right conditioners after. That makes it significantly easier for you to hold on to softness, okay? After, yes, steam treatments are helpful as well, but we are not doing steam treatments at home. Why? Why don't we do treatments at home? Clarifying shampoo and hard water shampoos are essentially the same. Clarifying shampoos and shampoos that remove hard water are essentially the same. Tell me how your shampoo, tell me how your shampoo makes it so that 2 weeks from now, you don't have to be a professional to take a guess, Tasha. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. That was my question. You're right, Tasha. You're 100% correct. I'm sorry. That was my question. Why are you not to do steam treatments at home? 100%, Tasha. You're 100% correct. Not because it takes too long at home. It will take just as long. If you did a steam treatment at home, you would be doing the same. You would be using the same. You would be doing it for the same amount of time as if you did it in the salon. You don't know when you need a treatment, right? So stick just to deep conditioning, not using deep conditioners. We know that there's a difference, right? We know that at Texture Press, we don't believe in deep conditioners. But if you stick to just deep conditioning, it'll put you in a much better position to allow the professionals to determine when you need treatment versus not, right? Versus not knowing that whether you need a treatment or not and just doing it because you've built the habit. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube beating y'all. Facebook and YouTube is beating y'all right now. It's close. The numbers is close, but they are beating you right now. Okay? We do not do treatments at home because we don't know when we need them. We are not professionals and we don't know when we need them. Okay? But your shampoo is going to set you up for success. How many of us rely heavily on our conditioner to set us up for success, to set us up for an easy detangle process after we rinse the conditioner out, or maybe even as we're detangling with the conditioner in? How many of us make sure? What's the word I'm looking for? How many of us make sure? Not make sure. How many of us judge whether or not it was a good wash day, depending on how well we detangled after we applied our conditioner? Okay. Jocelyn? Facebook, YouTube? We don't. The only way, Angie, that you can get long-lasting moisture and still save yourself some product because you're not overutilizing product, and still save yourself some time, not deep conditioning every single wash day, right? Like we talked about. Your shampoo has to set you up for success. Exactly. So with you, I rely on all of it from the beginning to the end, from the shampoo phase to the very last product that I use. Every single step, every single product that I pay my hard-earned money for, okay, that I spend my hard-earned money on, every single product, including the shampoo, has to do its job. If I go to shampoo a client's hair, I think about this even as a professional. If I go to shampoo and condition my client's hair and I use a moisture focused shampoo, but that hair still feels rough, I am not thinking to myself, oh, I need to make sure my conditioner works really well. No. My first thought when a shampoo fails me is, I'll never buy this again. And I typically purchase my products from an establishment that will allow me to return a product that I don't love. I use it the first time, I don't love it, I'm returning it. I encourage you to do the same. If you use a moisturizing shampoo and your hair does not feel moisturized after, if your hair after using your moisture focused shampoo feels like, if I don't put conditioner in mine right now, I'm going to be in trouble, I'm going to be screwed, that is not a shampoo that has delivered on its promise. And so what do you do when a product does not deliver on its promise? What do you do when a product does not deliver on its promise? There we go. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you, Jocelyn. You return it. Why? How do you get rid of it? Okay, you return it, but why? Because they have not earned my coins. 100%, Jocelyn. They disappointed you. The product actually made your job harder. Right? Work. If you told them people how to crunch numbers and you knew how to put data, and they came to your first week of work and you did not know how to crunch numbers or input data, they would fire you, wouldn't they? What up, Lee? They would fire you, wouldn't they? If you couldn't do your job, if you could not perform in the way in which you advertised yourself up at them people's job, they would fire you, wouldn't they? Same for your products, okay? Not only do you stop using it, sir, you return it back to where you purchased it from. That was my next point, Johnson. I told y'all, Johnson can come over here in class, okay? You also want to return the product so that the brand knows that the product doesn't work in the way in which they are advertising it. How will they know if you just keep if you just stop using it? What up, Eve? If you purchase the product and you just stop using it, but you never tell the brand the product actually sucked, didn't work in the way in which they told you it would work, they don't know that there's something wrong with the product, right? So return products so that this way you also give the brand a chance to make it right for you, okay? Moisture focused products are going to, clarifying shampoos, moisture focused products are going to be essential to making sure that you reduce your frizz. And you want to reduce your frizz because you want to often you have to put heat to your hair, and you want to reduce how often you put heat to your hair so that this way you don't cause yourself heat damage. And you don't want to cause yourself heat damage because of the disappointment that is attached to heat damage, the insecurity that you feel that is attached to when you go to shampoo and condition your hair, you look in the mirror and you see straight hair pieces. That level of heartbreak is what I am trying to avoid for you, Vanessa. Okay, so that's why we're going over these things. Now, quite equally as essential to moisture focused products are what kind of products? Equally to moisture focused products in terms of importance are what kind of products? Jocelyn, you don't answer. Kay, you either. Jocelyn and Kay, you sit this one out. Facebook, YouTube. Hey, Miss Posey. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. To know y'all beating Instagram and YouTube. I will lead to, there we go, sir. There we go, Soraya. Strengthening shampoos and conditioners. Okay. Equally as important to moisture focused shampoos and conditioners is strengthening protein focused shampoos and conditioners. Why? Protein that your hair has elasticity, curl, texture. Protein makes sure that your hair is strong. Protein focused products make sure that your hair has shine. Protein focused products make sure and have shine. Why is elasticity important? Here's what happens, right? Are we ready? I'm about to tell you why protein is essential and how you avoid heat damage. Are you ready? Type ready in the comments. Are you ready? Type ready in the comments. READY. I ain't gonna ask y'all to put your hand up because y'all been a lot of y'all been putting white hands up as of late. You know what I mean? What up, Keita? Are we ready? Okay. Hair has memory, right? So think about, okay, what does that even mean? Hair has memory. What does that even mean? When you take your hair out of box braids, is it still in the shape or form of a braid? That crinkle that you see, when you take your braids out, does it not look like the shape of a braid still? Exactly, Justice. Jocelyn says yes. Tasha says yes. Hair has memory. It will remember what you train it to remember. If you train it to remember to stay moisturized, it'll do that. If you train it to remember to stay curly, doing washing goes, doing braid outs without stretching your hair, it'll do that. If you continuously straighten your hair, it will do that. If you are a straight hair natural and you continuously straighten your hair, it'll learn to stay, you'll train it to stay straight. That's why heat training is a thing, right? Because you want to train your hair to stay in that particular style or look or behave in a particular way, okay? Because hair has memory and you can train it to stay straight, if you are continuously straightening your hair and only using moisture focused products and not using protein, which helps restructure your curl, which helps give your hair elasticity, right? That spring back, that bounce. If you do not implement protein, your will straight naturally born with is what? Straight hair from using heat that you are not naturally born with is what? There we go. There we go. And there we go, Angel. There we go. Heat damage. Okay. So to avoid heat damage, protein is going to be essential. Protein is going to be essential because it restructures your curl and reminds your texture we need to go back to curly. Protein tells your hair we need to go back to curly. Okay? That is why protein is essential. Now, I teach clients that you are to use protein how often? Unless something is terribly wrong with your hair, you are to use protein how often? OGs, teach your other class that are new in here. Teach them what we do. How girls around here. If you learn something new from it in the comments, excuse me. New girls, if your classmate just put you on, give them applause in the comments. Okay. Comments, please. Okay, so Tasha, how often do you use protein now? I'll tell you why, but how often just that you use protein now? Here we go, Justice. Tangi? Justice is putting you on, girl. Okay? Here's the problem, Tasha. A lot of us don't even know if we're using protein-focused shampoo or conditioners. That's the problem. You probably don't even know just how much protein you have in your product. Probably don't even know. Okay? We're going live on Sunday to talk trends and things like that. The next time we do Q&A, Tasha, bring your product class and I'll tell you just how much protein you're using. Okay? The next time we do next week's lives will be I'm sorry, this coming Saturday. So what's Saturday? The 14th. Saturday's live. Okay, Saturday's live will be Saturday the 14th. That live will be a live Q&A. You can ask whatever questions you have. Tasha, if I was you, I bring all my products to that class, okay? And we'll help you determine if you're using protein versus moisture. Okay? Okay? Protein is just as essential to your moisture-focused products in general, not just when you're silk pressing or straightening your hair. Excuse me, Tasha. I'm not 100% sure what time, baby. It'll probably be in the early afternoon, but I'm not 100% sure what time, Tasha. Okay, but I go live every day. Okay, and if you miss the live, you can catch the replay on the Patreon. Protein is just essential to your wash day routine as moisture. Okay. Hair has memory. It will remember how to behave the way you train it to behave. Hey, Tyra. Hair has memory, so it will remember to stay straight if you train it to stay straight. Okay. Clarifying shampoos are important, but not to be used every wash day. Not even once a month. I don't suggest. Okay. Moisturizing shampoos are essential, especially after you use a clarifying shampoo. Hey, Miss Girls. Okay. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram beating y'all over here. Instagram is beating y'all over here. Okay. Angel says she want that free guide and she don't care how she get it. Okay. Angel, you want your free guide. Girl, you about to get it, girl. Okay. Protein is just as essential to both your clarifying shampoos and your moisturizing products. And we've already talked about why, right? Here's why trims are essential to making sure that you have a healthy silk press, hair that reverts after you shampoo, condition it, and after you've worn your silk press for weeks and you shampooed and conditioned it. Trims are going to be essential to making sure you're able to do that. How is that? What do trims do? Let's say Angel moved from Kensington Alabama. Angel moved from Kensington, Alabama, to New York City, right? Got her a good job, good job, okay? Got her a good job. Moving to the city of dreams, Angel is, okay? Angel moves from Kensington over to New York, and she's been searching. She ain't found Texture Press yet, but she has been searching for 10 months now for a stylist in New York. Her stylist up in Kensington, love her to death. Kensington is too far to fly back and forth to just for a trim. So Angel's been looking in New York City since she's moved from Kensington for 10 months now for a stylist. Okay? Angel says, you know what? I really want to wear a silk press to my company party. I'm going to press my hair myself. She ain't had a trim in 10 months. Okay? Angel ain't had a trim in 10 months. Angel go to silk press her hair herself. She uses the right products. She uses the right temperature. She uses the right products. She uses the right tools. She uses the right temperature on said tools. Blow dry is relatively smooth. She's got those frayed ends that she's looking at, but she's like, yo, I don't know. I'm too scared to trim my hair myself. Can't find a stylist out here in New York since moving from Kensington. I'm already here. I'm halfway here. I'm more than halfway through. I'm just going to press my hair. She uses all the right products, all the right tools, all the right temperatures. She goes to silk press her hair before she get her pretty ass out the limo. Okay? She trying to step out that Uber Black looking flying flawless. Angel goes to look in the mirror and she sees nothing but frizz. Because Angel hasn't trimmed her hair in over 10 months. Nothing but frizz because Angel hasn't trimmed her hair in over 10 months. Here's how split ends lead to frizzy hair. The static that the two splits at the end of your hair, static is caused by the two split ends that are at the ends of your hair. So all of that frizz that you experience comes from the static that happened because we had frayed ends, because we have split ends, right? Your hair is not going to hold a curl. It's not going to hold a curl. Your curls are going to fall. They're going to drop relatively quickly if you do not take care of the split ends that you have on your hair. What do split ends also make us think? Every time you go to fill your hair and you know that you haven't had a trim in a long time, your hair always feels what? Rough, right? Give me our scholastic word for rough. Dry. What about dehydrated? Thirsty, right? Ms. Curls, Kay, Jocelyn, if you were talking to your little sister, the way that you would describe, if she was describing her hair and she said to you her hair felt rough, you do not tell her that her hair is dry. You say that it's dehydrated. You say that it's thirsty. We don't use words like crunchy when we're not in Healthy Hair University, okay? We don't use words like crunchy. We try our best not to use words like dry, crunchy, hard, right? Unless we're trying to get someone to relate to us and bring them over to our side so we can teach them different ways to say those things. So when our ends are split, give me another word for dry. It feels what? Not, I don't want to see dry. I don't want to see crunchy. I just gave you two examples of words that you can use to replace dry and or crunchy. When we have split ends, our hair typically feels brittle. Tyra, I'll take that. There we go, Tiny. Dehydrated, Ms. Curls. Brittle, okay? Thirsty. Okay, Angel? Dehydrated. Dehydrated hair is frizzy hair, leads to frizz. Hair that is dehydrated, hair that is thirsty will lead to frizz. So when Angel before Angel hopped out that Uber Black and she saw the frizz, right? We can tell Angel it's probably why. We want to solve her problem for her, right? Angel, you're up in Kensington. I forgot the state that we gave her. You're up in Kensington. You're one of Angel's old homies. She calls you. She tells you she had an amazing time at the event in spite of her hair. You're like, girl, what happened to your hair? Angel tells you, girl, I spent all that time silk pressing my hair. I used the right temperature. I know that I know the kind of flat iron that I use. It usually works. I use all the same products that my stylist at home uses. But before I stepped out that car, it was frizzy. You know Angel ain't had a trim. You know Angel ain't had a trim in 10 months. What do you tell her? The frizz happened. Why? You should be the smartest one. If you've been coming to Texture Press, if you've been sitting in on some of these lives, more than one of these lives, you are the smartest one in your friend group when it comes to hair. I promise you that. Right? So Angie, when Angel calls you and you up in Kensington with your feet up, you got a fresh trim. Okay, Angie? You tell Angel, girl, it was probably frizzy because it was thirsty and dehydrated because you ain't had a trim in 10 months. Right? And if I don't get a trim regularly, I will also suffer from, you'll increase your shedding 100%. 100%. You'll increase, we call it shedding, but really what's happening is you're pulling your hair out, right? Because of when you go to detangle, the tangles that are happening at the end are pulling your hair out. So we call it shedding, but you're really pulling your hair out. Okay? That's how you help your homie. That's how you help your homie. When your friends, from now on, when your friends have hair issues, you want to ask them questions so that you can assess and take everything that you learn from Texture Press and give them new information so that they can do better with their hair. Trims also work directly against you if what you're looking for is healthy hair with a silk press. Why? Because if you are not consistent with your trim schedule and you press your hair and you are in need of a trim, you're going to experience more frizz with that silk press. If you experience more frizz with that silk press, if you experience more frizz with that silk press, what's likely is going to happen is you're going to feel more inclined to do one of a few things. Either on wash day, as you are pressing your hair and you see that frizz, and you are likely going to go over it again with your flat iron, right? That's multiple passes with your flat iron. Or you're going to turn the heat up more than your hair actually needs it. So let's say usually a stylist can silk press your hair at 390 degrees, get it really straight, give you the exact look that you're going for. When you're home and you're silk pressing your hair yourself, 390 degrees doesn't work for you because now you're looking at the frizz that has been caused by not having had a trim, right? So you say, okay, 390 degrees don't work. Let me turn it up to 430 degrees. You turn that temperature up to 430 degrees. You go to shampoo and condition your hair after 14 days of seeing it straight. Angie, Angel, Justice, Tangie, you are way more likely to see heat damage and straight pieces, right? When you use an inappropriate temperature for your silk press. Hey, Angie. Okay? Now, we talked about shampoos, conditioners, the importance of using clarifiers, moisturizers, strengthening products. We talked about the importance of trimming to make sure that you have a healthy hair silk press. Okay? Now let's talk about the importance of layering your heat protectant. Layering your heat protectant. What does that mean? If you know what layering the heat protectant means, don't tell me. Don't tell me in the comments. Don't tell me in the comments. If you know what it means to layer heat protectant, I want you to do me a favor. Give it some hearts. Give this live some hearts. If you already know what it means, do me a favor. Don't leave nothing in the comments. Okay? If you already know what it means, do me a favor. Heart this live. Like this live. Let's see. It's some hearts coming in here. Angie, know what it means? All right, Angie, tell the girls. Tell the girls. Angie. Come on, Tasha. Come on, Tasha. Angie, can you tell me what layering the heat protectant means? Miss Hayes been here for a couple of lives, ain't it? Miss Hayes been on these. Miss Hayes been on a couple of these lives, ain't it? 100%. 100%. You want to use heat protectant at different stages. You want to use heat protectant at different stages so that this way you are creating multiple barriers between your hair and heat, right? Creating barriers between your hair and heat makes it more likely that your hair will curl back, your hair will revert after you shampoo and condition your post silk press, right? Heat protectant in your leave-in conditioner before the blow dry. You use it in your leave-in, 100%. Okay? 100%. You want to use leave-in conditioner that has heat protectant built into it so that even at the blow dry phase, okay? I know that's right, Miss Harris. Even at the blow dry phase, you are creating a barrier between your hair and heat. And then you do an additional 1 or 2 layers of heat protectant before you go to flat iron. Right? What's another reason why I ask you guys to layer on the heat protectant? What's another reason why I teach you all to layer on the heat protectant? Because I'm also going to be asking you to do what? To make sure you have a lasting silk press. What else am I going to ask you to do to make sure that you have a lasting silk press? We don't know? Yes, I am going to ask you to use these items for to create a lasting silk press, but how does that correlate to, how does that factor into layering on your heat protectant? I am going to ask you to do to do both of these things. Actually, I'm going to ask you to use high heat and high speed on your blow dry so that you have a smoother blow dry. Yes, if I'm asking you to use high heat, high speed on your blow dry, and I'm also encouraging you to, if you find yourself silk pressing your hair using multiple passes, I am going to ask you to just turn the heat up and do one pass, right? If I'm asking you to turn the heat up so that this way we avoid doing 2 passes, if I'm asking you to increase the speed and the heat of your blow dryer so that this way you have a smoother blow dry, that is why I need you to make sure that you layer on your heat protectant. Okay? That is why you have to layer on your heat protectant, because I am going to ask you to create a smoother blow dry, which means you're using higher heat, higher speed at your blow dry. And if you are used to silk pressing your hair twice, I am asking you to not silk press your hair twice, but turn the temperature up just a bit so that you have just one pass when you do your silk press. That is why I ask you to do multiple layers of heat protectant when you go to silk press your hair, so that you reduce your risk of heat damage by not doing multiple passes, right? You get it one and done. I'm a one pass silk press girl. I actually can't even remember a time where I was doing multiple, like as a practice. I can't ever remember a time doing multiple passes on a client. Okay. Okay. Um, okay, we talked about the right temperature and using the right flat iron. Okay. Using the right flat iron is also going to be essential. Hey, Christina. Christina, do you trim on blow dried hair or flat ironed hair? My preference is always to trim on blow dried hair. And here's why that's my preference. A lot of my clients, even the straight hair naturals, even though I have clients who are like, I will never wear my hair curly. I am never going to wear a wash and go. And since I found you, I'm actually also not interested in doing braid outs or twist outs, right? I have those clients, but because I have those clients and I have to steer them in a different direction. I know you don't want to do these more natural styles because they can be less predictable, but you have to do them if you want healthy hair. So I trim on blow dried hair as opposed to flat ironed hair because it gives better shape when I tell my clients no to silk presses and encourage them to do more curlier hairstyles, right? So twist outs, braid outs, rod sets, whatever the case may, whatever they choose to do at home that requires minimal heat. That's why I trim, on blow dried hair because it looks better, right? That cut transitions better when they do their wash and goes. That cut transitions better when they do their braid out, twist outs, rod sets, etc. Than if I were to trim it on flat iron hair. Now, I will say that I love the Amika Heat Bounce with the moisture leave-in spray and Olaplex Bond Oils Select. I love that for you, Andrea. I will never use Amika, but I love that you found what works for you. Excuse me. I will never use Amika again, but I love that you found what works for you. But that's why, Tasha, I trim clients on blow dried hair because it transitions better to their more natural styles. Sometimes I do have to trim on flat ironed hair, but that's usually if you've gone years since your last trim. And I also, what I've also found common, when I have to trim hair that's been flat ironed, it's also because you are constantly wetting your hair. I'm talking about the brand in general. I don't think I've ever used the product. Okay, yeah. I don't think I've ever used the product that you are particularly talking about, but I will never use the brand again. So what I will also, there are a couple of things that I will never spend my hard-earned money on. And it's more so because the things that I've tried, the majority in that brand have failed me. I work really hard for my money. I work 14-hour days and I just started working 14-hour. I work 14-hour days and I just started doing that only 5 days a week. There was a time where I was working 14-hour days, 7 days a week. That I was in the heart of my grind, in the heart of my hustle, right? Now I work 14-hour days, 3 days a week, and I work 10-hour days, 2 days a week, right? I work really hard for my money, and there are brands that have failed me time and time and time again. Now, if you ask me, I'll just tell you that I'll never buy it again, but I'm not gonna bash. I'll say this. I've been disappointed by the brand enough that I'm never gonna spend my hard-earned money on it again. Okay. If I want to do a wash and go later on, how can I do that? Okay, you're not even gonna remember. By the time your hair is ready for wash and goes, you're not gonna remember what I tell you. So when we do a live on wash and goes in particular, okay, if I were you, I would at that point suggest you sign up for the Patreon program so that you have access to that particular live all the time. But if I tell you now, and by the time you're ready to do your wash and goes, you're not gonna remember what I tell you now. But I see you have another question. Let me answer your other question. What's the difference between the keratin mist and the silk infusion serum? One is a leave-in conditioner, and the other one is a serum, a finishing product. But let's talk about using the right kind of flat iron. Okay, there are 3 popular different kinds of flat irons, right? Titanium, tourmaline, and ceramic flat irons. Okay, titanium, tourmaline, and ceramic flat irons. How many different flat irons are there? Have you ever done a live where you share your favorite heat protective for side? It's all in the Silk Press series. It's all in the Silk Press series, Andrea. Okay. Andrea, if you inbox me or DM me the word series, SERIES, Andrea, if you DM me or inbox me the word series, I'll get it to you. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you, Kay. There are three different kinds of flat irons: tourmaline, titanium, and ceramic. Ceramic is best for color treated hair, fine hair, chemically treated hair, right? If you have a relaxer, ceramic irons are better for you. If you have if you are a high lift blonde or if you are a redhead, ceramic irons are better for you. Okay. If you have fine hair, ceramic irons are better for you. Ceramic irons are better because the plates do not get as hot. They distribute heat evenly throughout the whole plate, so that no matter where the heat hits, the temperature is the same across the flat iron, right? So ceramic flat irons are best because they lower the temperature and the temperature is consistent. Medium and coarse hair types can do titanium. Titanium flat irons are the best for medium or coarse hair, okay? Titanium flat irons are better for medium or coarse hair. Those silver plates that you see, the heat is bouncing between the two, right? So that makes it significantly hotter, especially concentrated in the middle of those plates. That makes it, significantly hotter. If you decide, right, because my preference would be for everyone. If you're doing a silk press at home on your own, my preference, honestly, is for everyone. I don't care the hair type, for you to use a ceramic iron. But I understand there are different levels, right? Everyone is at a different place in their journey. So if you feel more comfortable or confident with doing silk presses at home, then sure, have at it. If you have medium and or coarse hair, right, have at using a titanium flat iron. Titanium flat irons do get hotter, right? Which means I would encourage you turn the temperature down just a little bit, even if it ain't but 10 or 20 degrees. Turn the temperature down just a little bit, okay? But if you have color treated hair, you're in a much better position to keep your hair healthy, keep your hair shiny, keep the cuticle intact, which reduces your breakage if you use a ceramic iron, okay? And that's whether you have medium or coarse hair. Fine, medium, or coarse hair. If it's color treated, ceramic is a much better iron for you. Okay. Titanium irons are for medium or coarse hair types. Tourmaline irons are better for at-home use than in the salon, in my professional opinion. Anytime I've had a tourmaline iron, I've always had to put more work into my wrist in order to get it straight, sleek, as smooth, as I would personally like it, as I know that my clients are used to. So that puts a little bit more wear and tear on my body, a tourmaline iron. I'm talking as a professional who does silk presses anywhere between 3 and 7 times a day, right? But if that's not your concern, and you're doing the silk press at home and you want hair that is shinier, and even in spite of not having had a trim in a while, hair that has little to no frizz, a tourmaline iron does do that really well. A tourmaline iron will increase your shine and help damn near eliminate your frizz when you use it at home. For me personally, it's too hard on my body, which is why I don't use tourmaline irons. Otherwise, I would only use a tourmaline iron. And those irons are good for any hair type, right? Medium, fine, fine, medium, or coarse hair. I need to work on my pressing technique. That's what we talk about in the silk press series, boss. That's why I made the silk press series for you. Wherever you are in your journey, unless this is teaching you how to master silk presses at home, right? Everything that I do in the salon, everything that has allowed to keep me in business over the past almost 15 years is what in terms of silk presses, is what I teach you in the silk press series, right? What kind of shampoo and conditioner you should be using and when you should use it, right? How do we identify protein versus moisture in our shampoos and conditioners? How do we know when to use one versus the other? What kind of cadence should we look for if we don't have someone's got it? That the silk press series takes you from that to if I'm at the beginning stage of doing a silk press and my hair starts to revert. Hey, Renee. If I'm at the beginning stages of practicing my silk press and my hair starts to revert, I also show you what you can do to repurpose your silk press. If you're not at the beginning phase and you are like, I rock these silk presses for 3 to 5 weeks at a time every time, and you want to know how do you extend the lifetime of your silk press, how do you maintain the health of your silk press, all of that is broken down for you in the silk press series. Okay? Those are the things that we cover in the silk press series. It's the benefit of having someone hold your hand and walk you through and talk you through how someone with expert level information, knowledge about how to do the silk press, someone is holding your hand and walking you through all of it, talking you through all of it, right? As opposed to sitting on an influencer's YouTube channel and watching how they master their own silk press. My job is to master everyone's silk press. That's my job. I have to be good at doing everybody's silk press. So I teach you, no matter where you are, no matter what your hair looks like, no matter the hair type, texture, or density, I can teach you how to do your own silk press. That is the benefit of owning the silk press series, as opposed to just hopping on someone's YouTube who you're hopeful their hair and your hair are identical and you have all of the same products, all of the same tools, right? It's just a different level of information. It's a different level of expertise that I come to the table with. That's not to say that YouTube can't be helpful, right? That's not to say that YouTube can't be helpful, but I talk about the brushes, the combs, the holding sprays, the heat protectants. If you're a head sweater, what products I use for my head sweaters. All of that is in the silk press series. Natalie says, it's worth it, guys. She did her first silk press. Well, let me not say her first silk press. This is the second time she did her silk press on her own. And doing it after having the silk press series. Hey, Pam. Doing it after having owned the silk press series. I showed y'all Natalie's pictures yesterday, day before yesterday. She did an amazing job on her silk press. An amazing job on her silk press. And you own the silk press series, right? So you keep going back to it every time. Every time you finish doing a silk press and you're like, I liked it, but I didn't love it. Right? I think what I might do is also create like a little group for the girls in the silk press series. Because if you have questions, like Natalie's silk press lasted, she's on day 10, she did it at home herself. Natalie's silk press lasted, but she and I both agreed that we would like her to have maybe like a little bit more volume and a little bit more movement, a little bit more body, right? So I'm thinking if we create like a little, not a little group, but if we create a group for the girls that go through the silk press series, if we create a group for you guys, then Natalie can literally at any time go into the group and be like, yo, I loved my silk press this time, but I didn't like this. And maybe Jocelyn's really good at the thing that Natalie wants to work on. And so Jocelyn is helping walk her through, talk her through how to get similar results. We might need to do that. We might need to create a group for the silk press series girls. Hey, boss. But did we learn something new? We went through shampoos, conditioners, the importance of layering your heat protectant, the importance of doing a trim, right? So that your silk press lasts. We went through making sure that you increase your temperature to reduce your risk of heat damage, and how important it is to have a smooth, stellar blow dry. We went through and talked about the different kinds of flat irons there are and what would be best depending on your hair. Did we learn something new? Okay, you know now the Chi Keratin Mist is not the same as the Chi Silk Infusion Serum. What is the keratin mist? Okay. Tasha, Tasha, how do we measure if our hair is still healthy after we do a silk press? Yes, we learned something new, Tangi. Tangi, tell me what you learned new today. Tangie, tell me what you learned new today, girl. If you learn something new, you're going to comment the word series. You're going to comment the word series down below. The cheek keratin mist is a leave-in conditioner, 100%. If you learn something new, comment the word series. SERIES. If you learn something new, comment the word series. Tangie, tell me what you learned, girl. About not clarifying as often. Good. Good. Tasha, we don't know if you need to use more protein or not. Tasha, we don't know if you need to use more protein or not. We need to know what products you have so we can see if you have some protein products. We can see if you've been using protein a lot. And read my products. I'll post what time we go live for Saturday so that this way you can do the best you can to join and bring your products. Okay, whenever we do our Saturday lives, bring your products so that you have them in front of you and we can talk about your products. Okay, there we go. That's why I need to keep coming to class. I could teach you how to Dougie, right, Natalie? Tell the girls, I could teach you how to Dougie. Okay, you keep showing up to class and I'll teach you how to Dougie. All right. We are in the mid. Some of our states are in the thick of a recession. Okay, some of America is in the thick of a recession. You might need to take everything that you learn from these classes and open you up a salon. You know what I mean? Pull up, Tasha. I'll teach you how to Dougie. Natalie liked that part. All right, I'm so glad. I'm so grateful for your time. I'm so glad that you were able to learn something and walk away with something new. Here's what we're going to do, okay? Because Instagram did win. Instagram did beat Facebook and YouTube. Not only were the numbers consistently at around 8, but we also at several points, beat Facebook and YouTube. So here you go. You guys want, I'll give you two things. Instagram. Give me 1 second. Let me just find the prompt word. Either way, you're going to have to text me. So you're going to text 347-802-0953. And let me see. I'll give you guys two things. I'll give you guys the list. And then do you guys want the chart on what your wash day should look like? Angel, stop saying that you're competitive. That you're not competitive. Excuse me. Stop saying you're not competitive. Because how you the first one to talk about some yes, and you ain't even want to compete. Okay, we'll do the guide. We'll do the guide on what your wash day should look like, and then we'll do the list of products that I like for soap presses. Just give me 1 second so I can look for them and tell you what to text me. Either way, you're going to have to text me, okay? You're going to have to text 347-802-0953, but I'm going to put it on the screen. You're going to text 347-802-0953. Let me find it for you. Give me one moment. Okay, so for the products, you're gonna text this, and for the wash day guide, okay, for the products that are my favorite, and then for the wash day guide, that's what you have to send them in two separate messages. Okay, if you send it together all in the same text, the system is not going to read it properly and you're going to get nothing. So send them separately. Send them as 2 separate messages. Yes? Once everybody says yes, that we understand what I'm asking you, then I'll go ahead and tell you exactly what to do to get what you want. Pam, hurry up and come on over to Instagram. Justice, hurry up and come on over to Instagram. If you want it, come on over to Instagram. But you guys were in competition this whole live. I told you, if you guys, if y'all didn't get more numbers, if we didn't get more viewers on Facebook and YouTube, I told y'all IG was finna get it. Yes, we understand. You have to send 2 separate messages. Okay, you're gonna send one. You're gonna send one word for the products. You're gonna send another word for the guide. Okay. Christina, this ain't for you. Y'all not getting this. Facebook, YouTube, you did not win. Instagram won. If the Instagram girls say that you can get it, then y'all can get it. If they say no, it's no. It's their prize. Hey, boss. If the girls on IG say that you can get it, then you can get it. Nope, that ain't the word. That ain't the word. See? And there you go, Andrea. And you just told on yourself because you were supposed to text it anyway. The only way you was gonna get the list, the only way you was gonna get the guide is if you texted it anyway. That ain't it. Hey, baby Huey. Kenya said, yes, we should all share. If the girls, and it got to be the majority rules. If the IG girls. Let me tell y'all what Angel said. Let me tell y'all what Angel said. Angel said, no, work harder. I know that's right. And Angel got some nerve. Angel said, no, work harder. Come on, Justice. Justice came over here. She left y'all. I know that's right. I know that's right. Angel said, no, work harder. Okay, but that's those are the products that'll get you the products that I absolutely love and use. Oh, I see. Oh, this is Christina. Christina, I get it. Christina. We need Coach Eb to go viral. I know that's right. I appreciate you, Angel. Angel, you still working on them brownies, ain't it? Or is you done? Is y'all finished or y'all done? Okay. You got everything you needed? Did everybody please come back and let me know that you got exactly what you asked for. Did you get what you asked for? Did you get your products? Did you get your guide? Natalie, I feel like you got both of these already. Kenya left y'all too. Kenya left. We're out of here. They ain't forget you. They ain't. Christina ain't forget you, Angel. Christina still remember you need them snacks. Tangi, Facebook lost. Okay. If in the words of Angel, work harder. Okay. All right. Did everybody get what they wanted? I just want to make sure before we get up out of here, because if we have any issues, I can work on it. Now before 11. Come on, Tangi. Come on over to IG, girl, before we end this live, girl. You got it? You got yours, Tasha? All right, Tiny got hers. Jocelyn already got hers. Jocelyn, I bet not see your name on there again. Jocelyn got hers already. I know Jocelyn got hers. Miss Tiny got hers already. Everybody else is good. All right. Thank you again for sitting with me through this live. It was refreshing for even myself. It was a refreshing conversation. I'm so grateful to have helped you. But my ask is that you take what you learned today and take when you have brunch with your homegirls, when your mama, when your sister, when your favorite cousin is calling you complaining about their hair, talk to them about what we learned today. Okay, talk to them about what you learned today. All right. We are at a time where we have no one but ourselves. No one's coming to save us but us, right? No one's coming to save us but us. We've been shown time and time again, as of late, the 6th of February, the 5th of February, right? Just how much this country does not care about our well-being. If we don't rely on each other, if we don't come together and help each other, give each other our God-given gifts, use our God-given talents amongst each other, we're no good. Okay. What up, Star? Star, we finna roll out of here, girl. You missed it. Star, if I were you, I would do what's here. If you looking for products for your silk press, if you looking for what your wash day should look like, Star, I would do what's on the screen. Okay, text that information to that number. Text it, Star, because we finna get up out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kenya. Thank you so much. Just know that in order for you to be in the presence of what you feel is greatness, you have to be great yourself, right? In order for you to be in the presence of true greatness, you have to be great yourself, right? Who I am is just a reflection of you. Yes? Okay. All right, my dears. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. What is it? The Monday blues. The Monday blues. Y'all finna have that. We'll be good though. Tomorrow I'll be back. We'll be teaching the same thing. So if you have a couple of friends who you think are trying to learn how to still press their hair themselves at home, tell them to come on, pull up. I'll be on here tomorrow anywhere between 6 a.m. and 8. I'm sorry, 6 a.m., 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. I'll be on here. That's gonna have to be a short live. I can't do. Girl, I've been on here for an hour and a half. I said I was going to try to do under an hour. Let me get off this damn live. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you're not home, get home safely. If you are home, stay safe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.